26. Welcome, everyone. Shabbat Shalom. It's a small group, so we're going to have to make it warm with our voices, okay? I'm glad to see everyone here. I want to welcome Raymond Zachary, who is with us tonight leading. So please have him feel welcome. Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shalom.
We continue on page 11 with Shalom Aleichem. Page 12 for candle lighting, and I know that Jennifer's here to say Kaddish for her husband Claude. Is there anyone else who's here to say Kaddish come on up. People who are saying Kaddish, come on up. This is Raymond Zachary, those of you who came in late. Make sure you turn around and know the people behind you and in front of you and next to you and say Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. I don't know.
Is your mom's here?
Yeah.
Let's bring the light in.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
As we sing the psalms that take us through the days of the week, take a deep breath in first and out. We're carrying so much. Just being human in the world is challenging nowadays. And the gift of Shabbat, of transitioning from our busy week into giving ourselves a gift to reflect and relax, is something that is just beyond being able to count or account for. And so it's really a blessing to be together. We continue with the Psalms on page 20 with Lechun Ranana. means to lift up, to elevate, to rise. As we sing this final song, Lecha Dodi, we're on page 28. Think about anyone who made you rise, who said something nice to you that lifted up your soul this week. Or maybe nobody did that for you. Maybe you did it for someone. And just take in that moment that just made you smile a little, made you lift, made the world lift and be a little better. Adonai oz le'amo yitain, Adonai yivarech et amo b'shalom. Page 28, last 3 lines. Job. One of the things I love about my job is that I'm with people of all different ages and all different stages of life. And as I was thinking about the question I asked you, Romamu, I was thinking about how I started the week on Sunday morning with our 5th grade religious school class in front of an open Torah. And they were so excited to look inside of the words of Torah. And they said, is this Torah just like every other Torah? And I said, well, you know how my handwriting is different than your handwriting? So each Torah is going to be a little different because the handwriting's different. And then they said, can we open another Torah and compare that Torah's handwriting to this Torah's handwriting? And I said, yes, we can. And I just thought that not only did they lift me up, but I was lifted, and they were lifted, and we lifted each other together. And so as we sing Lecha Dodi, give yourself the gift of just thinking about how we can continue to lift each other's soul and be grateful for the little things that maybe we've done for one another. Page 29, Lecha Dodi.
Lecha Dodi.
Page 30.
בואי חלה, בואי חלה, לך דודי, לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה, לך דודי, לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. Hey! Oh, you don't like hey, you want gimmo?
Hey, okay, hey. Okay. A psalm now for Shabbat. A psalm to welcome in Shabbat. Page 31. Mizmor Shir.
מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, ולזמר לשמך עליון, להגיד בבוקר חסדך, ואמונתך בלילות, עלי עשור ועלי נבל, עלי היגיון בכינור. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, ולזמר לשמך עליון, להגיד בבוקר חסדך, ואמונתך בלילות, עלי עשור ועלי נבל, עלי היגיון בכינור. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, ולזמר לשמך עליון. Let's yalai, yalai, yalai,
Sadiq Kadamar Yifrach, may the righteous sprout among us. May the righteousness sprout from within us. And may we find the strength to celebrate the beauty of our world. Page 36, we rise for Baruch Hu.
ברכו את אדוני המבורך.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach Leolam Vaed.
ברוך המבורך לעולם ועד.
Together on 36. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro ma'ariv arabim, b'chokhmah poteach she'arim, u'v'tbuna mishane itim, u'machalif et hazmanim, ומסדר את הכוכבים במשמרותיהם ברכיר כרצונו. בורא יום ולילה, כולל אור מפני חושך, וחושך מפני אור. ומעביר יום ומביא לילה, ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה, אדוני צבאות שמו.
אל חי וקיים, תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד, ברוך אתה אדוני, המעריב הרביב.
אמן. אהבת עולם בית ישראל לך, אהבת תורה ומצוות וקיים משפטים. כי הם
חיינו
חיינו
ואורך ימינו, ובהם נגב יומם ולילה, ואהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים, ברוך אתה אדוני, אוהב עמו ישראל.
Page 38, Shema.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuso Leolam Vaed. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים אלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם, אמן.
Page 40, Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom. Help us to let go, to lie down, to submit, to relax, to breathe in, and to let go.
השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום, והעמידנו שומרנו לחיים. Spread the shelter of your peace over us. ושמור צאתנו ובואנו לחיים ולשלום אתה בעד עולם ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך ברוך אתה אדוני הפורש סוכת שלום עלינו ועל כל עמו ישראל ועל ירושלים.
We're in the Torah portion, Lech Lecha, and I'm going to be speaking more about it later, but it's about taking a journey and not getting in your own way, in a sense. And I came across a poem by Andrea Gibson. You might know who she was. She died this year at a young age, and she was a slam poet, and she was incredible. And I want to read you her poem about getting out of her own way. To whom it definitely concerns, please accept this letter as formal notification that I am resigning from the position of my own worst enemy. I've appreciated the opportunity to lower my standards. So far, they could win a limbo contest against a crumb. I've been honored to serve as the server at the banquet where I eat myself alive. The day I was hired, I could have never imagined how many Employee of the Month plaques I acquire from breaking the standing record for standing in my own way. In this position, I've grown continuously, like bacteria in a staph infection. I had no idea that holding myself back would be contagious. I would like to have a different kind of impact on the future company I keep. The scene I made during our last team building exercise woke me to the need for change. I know the young people in the office are still shook by my refusal to catch myself in the trust fall. I apologize for that gory display. Moving forward, I'll be pursuing opportunities in another field, preferably one where break rooms are for resting and not for breaking promises to the person I hope to become. I fully intend to replace whatever dreams I shattered when I was beating myself up. I have no idea where I learned punching in was a literal term. If I had known better, I would have called in sick ahead of time. I accepted this position initially because I believed it came with the very best insurance plan. How could I fall to my death from the ground floor? Over the years, however, I've gotten increasingly familiar with the fine print of the benefits. Turns out there are no benefits when the copay is your life. My last day of my own worst enemy will be December 31st. In my final 2 weeks, I will, 1, fire my inner critic, or at least demote it to part-time. 2, assure my passions have the tools they need to unionize with my actions. And 3, sit naked on the photocopy machine so there are 100 copies of my to kiss when I'm gone. Though I suspect it won't bode well for acquiring a positive referral letter, it's important to state that I'm unwilling to train a replacement for my position. It is my suggestion that the job be eliminated altogether and that no future person take on the task. And if I can aid in the transition, please let me know. Sincerely, Andrea Gibson. I think it's a beautiful lesson for us to think about in terms of our own selves as we lech lecha, as we go on our way this Shabbat. Page 44, we rise for the Amidah.
Adonai sfatai tiftach, Adonai sfatai tiftach, ufi yagid inside your heart and see what it wants, what it needs, what it yearns when you breathe. Go inside your heart and see. May the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be kind, be true. May they be acceptable to you, my rock, and my redeemer.
So beautiful, Raymond. I don't think we know that, and yet we sung along. So
Yeah.
you led that beautifully. Thank you. Yehu l'ratzon, may it be God's will that those who are in need of healing experience some healing. You may be the person who is in need of healing yourself, or a loved one, or even a distant one that you just know about. I'm actually thinking about our congregant Rita Fetter. She's probably at the end of her life now, and she was a Shanghai Jew. You know what a Shanghai Jew is? Yeah. So she was born in Germany and sent to Shanghai during the war to survive, and she did, and eventually made it back to America. She's in her 90s, and I spoke to her daughter today, Eileen, and she's probably at the end. And Eileen and Rita would always watch every Friday night on Zoom. So I'm especially sending her love right now. And if there's anyone else you'd like to bring into this space for Misha Barach, please say their name out loud. Page 239.
Misheberach Avoteinu, Avraham, Yitzchak, veYaakov, Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, veLeah, Yevarech, veYirapeh et hacholim. Misheberach Avoteinu, Avraham, Yitzchak, veYaakov, Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, veLeah, Yevarech, veYirapeh et hacholim. Elna refanala, Elna refanala, Elna refanala, Elna refanala. שברך אבותינו אברהם, יצחק ויעקב, שרה, רבקה, רחל ולאה, הוא יברך וירפא את החולים.
Lots of things are going on at Temple Israel. This Sunday, we're having our Rachamim conference. Rachamim means compassion, and this is something started by Deborah Linish, and it's for parents who have suffered the death of a child. And it's been meeting, and now this is sort of the final meeting of the year, and they're beaming in Rabbi Yitz Greenberg, who is a very famous modern Orthodox rabbi who lives in Israel, and he too lost a child. And so if you know of anyone who might have suffered that horrible tragedy, just tell them to come on Sunday at 10 o'clock. I think check-in is at 9:30, and then we're going to start at 10 o'clock. So spread that news on. Also, I've been teaching a theology class once a month, and the last two classes are this coming Wednesday, November 12th at 8 a.m. in the morning, if you want to make it at 8 a.m. And we're going to be studying the theology of David Hartman, Rabbi David Hartman, one of my teachers. And that same day on Wednesday, I will still be here at 7 p.m. because we have a comedian, Karen Leifer, who's going to be giving sort of a workshop on how to write a funny speech. And you can use it in all different areas of your life, so that should be great. And then I teach my monthly Taste of Talmud class. The next one is November 17th, 10 a.m. on Zoom. And then the weekend right before Thanksgiving, November 21 and 22, we have Rabbi David Saperstein, who was the head of the Religious Action Center. And he's going to be our guest scholar in residence that Friday night. He's also going to be teaching men's Torah on Friday morning, but I'm not allowed to go to that. Only when I teach it, I'm allowed to go. And I really urge you to come to services that night. We won't be doing a Devar Torah. We'll have services without a Devar Torah, and then we'll gather for dinner, and then he'll be teaching and speaking. So sign up for dinner so you can hear him. I think it'll be a really interesting talk. His talk is going to be on anti-Semitism and around the world and in America. And then the next morning, Saturday morning, is my monthly minyan that I do with Chloe Pormarati. She's the woman that I led High Holidays with in the minyan. So come to that. It's in the library, and it's really great, and it's just once a month. So those are some of the things going on. Oh, why didn't I say that? I'm sorry. This Sunday is also Hanukkah Marketplace. Not this Sunday. The 16th of November. Right.
I was told it's too soon to sing Hanukkah songs.
It is too soon to sing Hanukkah songs. But I apologize for leaving that out. I'm sorry. All right. So this portion of Lech Lecha, it reminds me of a little bit about myself and not a little bit about myself. Not to self-reference, but I will then expand it. But I used to have my whole life planned out. When I was in high school, I knew I was going to go to college. And when I was in college, I knew I was going to take a year off and then go to rabbinical school. And then when I was in rabbinical school, I knew that I had to get a job. And then when I got a job, I knew that I needed to get married. And when I then got married, I knew I needed to have kids. And then I needed to be, do well in my job, and so on and so on and so forth. And it's like check, 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 right? And I realize that not everyone is meshugana like me, and that not everyone, when they're teenagers, knows exactly what their life trajectory wants to look like. I've since learned that that's a little weird. And also, I've also learned that there's something very beautiful about not knowing where your next step is going to be and where you're going to land next. There's something very beautiful about that. And this week's Torah portion about Abram, his name isn't yet Abraham, it's Abram. He doesn't actually have his path laid forward for him. So just as a reminder, last week's Torah portion ends with Abraham's father, Terach, saying, listen, we're going to go on a journey. We're going to just go to this place. And then what happens is Terach dies, and Abraham is at the crossroads, literally. He doesn't quite know whether he should just stay where he is or move forward or go back to where they came from. But he doesn't remain still. And he doesn't settle in a path that isn't his path, that isn't his father's path. He tries to find his own path. And even in the face of obstacles, he continues to move and to navigate and to figure out what his soul journey is. And not to get caught up in habits and security and what's comfortable. He certainly doesn't do any of that. So I want to just ask you to pause for a moment, and you're not going to share, but just think to yourself, when was there a time in your life, or times in plural, that you've been like Abraham, not knowing what your next step is going to be, but willing to risk walking into the unknown? Was it due to a crisis that you needed to respond to, and that's why you didn't know what the heck was going to happen next? Or was it self-imposed, like you just knew deep down in your bones that you needed to pivot and do something else? For all of us, and I do actually include myself in this, who have done this, Avram might be our inspiration. You see, in the Torah portion, it has a famous title, Lech Lecha, which maybe you've heard of, and it literally means, Lech means go out, and Lecha means to yourself. Go out to yourself. And God says at the beginning, Lech Lecha, go to yourself, Me Artzecha, from your land, Ume Melodetecha, from your birthplace, Umi Beit Avicha, from your father's house, to a land that I will show you. That's it, to a land I will show you. But the problem is that Abraham is not in the land of his birth. The land of his birth is Ur L'Kasdians, and he's in Haran. And he's not in his birthplace. He's in a foreign land. And he's not in his father's house because his father is dead. So then what does it mean to say Lech Lecha when none of these things actually make sense? So many commentators have spilled many ink on this very question, and I'm not going to go through everything, but I am going to gift us with 3 teachings that touched my heart about what it might mean to Lech Lecha. The first is Divrei Elimelech, Rabbi Elimelech Spaza of Ganotsk. He lived from 1823 to 1892. And he teaches that Lech Lecha means get yourself out, meaning distance yourself from being centered on yourself. Get the you out of you. Don't focus on yourself so much. That, he says, is spiritual hedonism. So in the spirit of this Lech Lecha, our first question to ourselves might be, how am I tripping myself up? How am I getting in my own way? That's the first Lech Lecha teaching. Second, the Itzbiter Rebbe, Rabbi Mordechai Yosef of Laner, 1801 to 1853. He taught Lech Lecha is almost the opposite. It means sort of like what Raymond was singing, go into your own self. Only you can find the most basic living, giving qualities within yourself. You need to go within and you need to discover your own unique gifts. So with this in mind, the second questions of this week are, how can I listen to myself more deeply? What truth about myself am I not hearing? Third teaching, the Sfat Emet, Rabbi Yehuda Aryeh Leib Alter. He lived in 1847 to 1905. He teaches that Lech Lecha means be a walker, keep moving. Continue to seek out new experiences, new meanings, new discoveries. When you do that, don't fall into routine. Continue to move forward. He even teaches that routine and habits hide the inner light. So our final question for Lech Lecha is, what am I avoiding and how can I walk toward it? 3 different understandings of Lech Lecha. Get out of yourself. Don't make it all about you. Get into yourself. Look deeply within and not for external validations or directions. And 3, go forward. Don't settle into routine and seek the light. So as we enter this Shabbat of Lech Lecha, I'm reminded of Marge Piercy's poem, To Be of Use. She says, I love people who harness themselves, an ox to a heavy cart, who pull like water buffalo with massive patience, who strain in the mud and the muck to move forward, to do what has to be done again and again. My blessing for each of us is that we find the courage to look beyond ourselves, within ourselves, and walk toward the light so we can be like that ox, like Abram, like ourselves, pulling through the mud because sometimes life is backbreaking, and pulling through the beauty of the world because sometimes it's so spectacular it takes our breath away. And as we pull our loads, hold our heads up high and let our spirits lead the way.
If you are a 10, then we're Nitzavim. We stand here today and remember the dream. If you are a 10, then we're Nitzavim. We stand here today and remember the dream.
mourners to rise for Mourners Kaddish. And we're also remembering at this time Philip Barnow, Barbara Babin, Benjamin Berwin, Sally Braverman, Francis Corbat, Cameron DeVore, Dave Evans, Anna Fatman, Robert Fetter, Robert Furtani, Lillian Hoff, Phyllis Kaminer, Estelle Katz, Ann Kirk, Toby Lazen, Nina Liebman, Nathan Lippman, Thelma Lippman, Claude Marati, Ann Newman, Roman Rackover, Helen Rosenthal, Richard Saliman, Leo Savage, John Sobel, Pearl Stern, Harry Tourette, Karen Weiner, and Leora Wolf. And during these 30 days of Shloshim, we've laid to rest Dr. Jeffrey Roy Medoff, Samuel Solomon, Rabbi Arthur Waskow, and Dr. Robert Weinstein. Any other names that we want to add?
Nathan Avi, 16-year-old, shot to death in Lutz, Poland in 1940.
Thank you.
Cantor Jonathan Grant.
We're on page 292. Let's help the mourners say Kaddish.
Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
Ve'alma divra chirutei v'yamlich malchutei. B'chayechon uvyomechon uv'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael. Ba'agala uvizman kariv v'imru.
Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabba Mevorach Leolam Almei Almaya.
Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei d'kudsha.
Brechu.
Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechemata. Da'amiran ve'alma v'imru.
Amen.
Yehei shlama rabba min shmaya. V'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru.
Amen.
Oseh shalom b'mromav. Huya aseh shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru.
Amen.
Oseh shalom b'mromav. Oseh shalom b'mromav. Huyaseh, huyaseh, huyaseh shalom. Huyaseh, huyaseh, huyaseh shalom. Huyaseh, huyaseh, huyaseh shalom aleinu. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down.
Thank you for everyone being here tonight. We're going to do Kiddush and Motzi. Thank you again, Raymond, and thank you, Nick, and Kenny on sound and camera and everything. If I haven't met you, if you're here for the first or second or third time and I haven't met you, please walk up to me and introduce yourself.
ויהי ערב, ויהי בוקר יום השישי, ויחולו השמיים והארץ וכל צבאם, ויחל אלוהים את יום השביעי מלאכתו אשר עשה, וישפוט ביום השביעי מכל מלאכתו אשר עשה, ויברך אלוהים את יום השביעי וקדש אותו, כי בו שבת מכל מלאכתו אשר ברא אלוהים לעשות. אברך רומר ויסאי, ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, בורא פרי הגפן. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, אשר קידשנו במצוותיו ורצה בנו, ושבת קודשו באהבה וברצון הנחילנו, זיכרון למעשה וראשית, כי הוא יום תחילה למקראי קודש, זכר ליציאת מצרים. Mitzrayim, ki banu bacharta, ve'otanu kidashta, mikol ha'amim, ve'shabbat kodshecha, be'ahava uvratzon, hinchaltanu, baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh haShabbat.
L'chaim.
Chaim. It's my favorite vintage, Tuesday. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz te'avon. Ose shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Ose shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Ose shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ose shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Ose shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Ose shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael.
Shabbat shalom,
Good
everyone.
Shabbos.
And I have to say happy Halloween, I guess.